Guest penned a letter to FBI Director Christopher Wray demanding an immediate briefing to the House Intelligence Committee. Well, joining us now is ranking member of that committee, Ohio Congressman Mike Turner. Congressman, welcome back to the show. All right, so we are hearing reports that the FBI actually brought counterintelligence agents with them because they're worried that Trump might have shared some of these classified documents in possession with people who may not have been cleared to view them. Does that change this in any way?
No. The issue here is that they better have a very high level of a national security issue or threat as their justification to raid a former president of the United States House. Remember, this has never been done in history, certainly not two members of an administration with Wray and the Attorney General approving raiding a former president's house who's the political rival of the administration that they're sitting in. One thing that we know, Donald Trump has more classified information in his head than he does in his desk. So to send the FBI in to raid his home must require, and that's why we're demanding answers from FBI Director Wray, actual national security threats and information. So what we've asked for is I want to see, this supposedly began with a criminal referral from the archivist. Remember, the archivist is supposed to receive presidential records. So this is a clerical transaction that we're talking about, that the archivist sent a criminal referral. We want to see that. We want to see what did the FBI tell the court? What did they say they were looking for? What did they say they were going to find? And then we want the inventory of what they took. What did they find? What did they take from the president? Because Americans want answers. They want to know how it is that the FBI and the Department of Justice and the intelligence community are being weaponized, and the politicalization of this as a grave threat to our democracy.
So, Congressman, I rarely have ever heard the FBI confirm the existence of an ongoing investigation. Why do you think that Director Wray is going to respond to you in any way that would admit that they're even investigating this?
Well, I mean, they can't deny that they're investigating it. They sent agents into the president's home. The issue here is national security. Our committee has jurisdiction over classified material and classified information. There are reports that there was classified information there. Just because a document's labeled classified doesn't mean that it's classified. It's the substance as to whether or not it's a classified document. The archivist doesn't determine that. In fact, the president of the United States can declassify things himself. So the issue here really is, how does this rise to a national security threat level? That's my committee's jurisdiction. They need to tell us how it is that a former president, a political rival of this sitting president and the administration that they sit, rises to the level of a national security threat to raid his home.
So your colleague, House Leader Kevin McCarthy, came out today, says he has plans to conduct an oversight after the midterms. But what do Republicans actually need to get to the bottom of, and what power do you have right now in the minority to get things done?
Well, we have a lot. I mean, certainly, all of these parties are going to be coming before the various committees. We're certainly going to be questioning them on these. There is no question that after this election, if the American public decides that they need a change in this government, and by the way, I think this is an additional reason why people need a change. The concern is whether or not they can trust the FBI and the Department of Justice. If there is a change, we certainly then at that point get subpoena power, which would give us the ability to demand these documents. But I think people are very concerned about what this whole process is, why the Department of Justice is politicizing the documents production that they claim was not done here. This really is of grave concern, I think, as to the future of our country.
It's interesting. There's a lot of folks, to your point, who are looking at this and saying Hillary Clinton had classified information on her server, and they determined that it wasn't that big of a deal. Why are you going after a former president who, as you said, had the authority to declassify this information?
Right. Let's go to the next step as to the importance of this. Hillary Clinton had a server in her home while she actively served as Secretary of State that had going across that server classified communications of the United States that pertained to her service as Secretary of State and that were timely. The counterintelligence threat there is huge. This issue, whether or not the president has information or documents that do to the presidential laws on making certain that these are available and are given to the archivists, much lower concern than active communications of the United States. And in one, they gave Hillary Clinton the ability to go through the materials, determine which ones were personal, which ones were official, and keep back the ones that were personal. In this instance, they raided his home and they took, apparently, allegedly, documents that are both Donald Trump's and then the documents that they were seeking.
Good point.
Congressman Mike Turner, good to see you this evening. Hope that you do hear back from Christopher Wray.
Thank you so much.